Tuia ki te rangi e tū nei. Tuia ki te whenua e takoto nei. Tuia ki te moana po kare nei. E rongo i te po i te au, i te po nei e. He mihi katika kia Sister B mo tēnā karakia. Ka huri taku mata ki te maunga o Karioi, ko Waikato te awa e rere atu rā, ko Ngāti Tāhinga, rawa ko Ngāti Māhunga, aku hapu. Tēnei a tainui waka e mihi nei ki a koutou. Tēnā tātou i te whare kei aku mana wāhine e mihi ana. Ko Janelle Riki Waaka tōku ingoa e tū whakaiti nei, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. You may start timing right now. Kia ora. Kia ora. My name is Janelle of both Māori and Pākehā descent, and I am still learning to be comfortable in my own skin. I didn't realise I was actually Māori till I was 5. Sitting in class one day, my teacher asked all the Māori kids to stand up and go to the office. And as the kids stood up, I went, this is the coolest elite group of kick-ass Avengers I've ever seen in my life. God, I hope I'm Māori. As it turns out, I was, according to my teacher. And my excitement quickly dissipated as I found myself in the principal's office answering some really personal questions about my home life, how much food I had in the cupboard, who lived in my house. And what I now know is that schools in those days used to create home profiles of kids who were recognised as being most likely to fail. Top of that list, Māori. Like most kids, I, just wanted to fit in. And walking in two worlds, with my Māori on the inside and my mum's very Pākehā complexion on the outside, I kind of drifted in and out of those two worlds and not kind of landing anywhere in particular. My dad was born in 1950. His first language was te reo. On his first day of school, he was strapped within minutes of arriving for speaking te reo. He ran away, went home, and got another belting from his dad, who said to him, learn the ways of the Pākehā so you can get a job. My dad, now aged 69, although he probably wasn't aware, suffered identity trauma that day. A trauma that he passed on to all of us, not through his words, but through his actions that spoke to us. I was a single mum for 10 years. And when my son, the eldest moko in our whānau, turned 5 on his first day of school, my boss wouldn't let me have time off to take him. So my dad, his koro, took him, and holding his koro's hand and without his mum's by his side, he bawled his eyes out when he went to school. So, and he said to his koro, I don't want you to leave. So my dad didn't. He just sat there. And the teacher tried everything she could to encourage him to leave, and he just sat there. He sat there till morning tea, till my son said, Koro, I want to go out to play, you can go now. So after several missed calls that day from my dad, I rang him in an absolute panic. And my dad said to me, he's not ready for school, Janelle. There's no one in his class that looks like him. I'm going in there to get him out. Now, I can't actually imagine how hard it must have been for my dad that day to leave his most loved, cherished firstborn moko in a place that only 50 years earlier had punished him for being Māori. I'm sure it was just all a little bit too familiar for him. What I want to say is that 3 generations, same whānau, over the last 70 years, this was not ages ago. This trauma is alive and it still walks around. I've lost count of the amount of times my kids and I have been made to feel like being Māori is something you should be ashamed of. I remember the day my sister's heart broke into when my beautiful 5-year-old niece, who'd been speaking Māori at home, said, don't talk Māori to me, Mum, anymore. Nobody talks it. I remember it because my son had said the same thing to me 10 years earlier. These stories are both reflective of their time, but also reflective of an education system that was initially designed to assimilate Māori kids into European culture for their benefit. Please know, Māori kids do not come into this world being ashamed of who they are. They just think they're normal. The problem is, little by little, what they see, what they hear, what they feel teaches them otherwise. We need to acknowledge that racism, bias, and ignorance exists everywhere, and until we actively set about decolonizing this society, we will continue to churn out broken and disconnected kids. Here's the thing. Māori kids being confident and connected to their language and their identity and culture benefits all of us. These kids will lead this country. For far too long, Māori have been in the back seat of their own waka at the mercy of someone else's navigation. We need to be empowered to overcome our own challenges, navigate our own journeys. After all, that's what the treaty promised us. Rangatiratanga, self-determination, the right to make decisions by Māori for the benefit of Māori. But it just can't be our responsibility to build identity and connection in our kids. This is everyone's job. We need allies. We need a support crew. We need paddlers in our waka. How we look after our tamariki and the beautiful Indigenous culture of this country should and does define us. Our most cherished kuia, Dame Whenakupa, said this: take care of our children. Take care of what they hear, take care of what they see, and take care of what they feel. For how the children grow, so will be the shape of Aotearoa. Nā reira, ki te hoi e ho mā, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora.